Have you ever noticed that some people just seem to vanish from your life? It may be a friend, a family member, or someone you once felt close to. You wonder what happened, why they're no longer around, and what changed. It can feel sudden, like they were pulled away for reasons you can't fully understand. But what if there's a deeper reason behind this? What if these moments when people fade out of your life are not random at all? Instead, it could be part of a bigger plan, a plan that's guiding your path, protecting you, or even preparing you for something ahead. When someone exits your life, there's always more happening beneath the surface. It might be for your own good, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. Stay with this thought. Why does God remove certain people from our lives? What purpose could it serve? Sometimes people are only meant to be part of certain periods in your life. Just like seasons change, the people who are with you during one phase might not be around in the next. This can feel confusing or even painful, but it's often necessary for your personal growth. God knows when it's time for you to move forward, and not everyone can come with you into the new chapter. They may have been helpful for a time, but their role in your life is complete. Think about Moses and Joshua. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, guiding them through the desert. He played a key role in their freedom, but his season as a leader came to an end. Joshua then took over and led the people into the promised land. God had different plans for each of them, and Moses' time was up when Joshua's began. This wasn't a sign of failure or anything wrong with Moses. It simply meant his part in the story was finished, and Joshua was meant to take over for the next step. In your life, this can happen in similar ways. When God removes someone, it might be because your season with them is ending. Maybe they taught you something, supported you, or helped you grow, but now you're ready to move forward without them. They were important for where you were, but they might not be right for where you're going. You're stepping into something new, and God knows what you need for that next season. Sometimes that means leaving certain people behind. It's important to realize that not everyone is meant to stay with you forever. Some people are only in your life for a specific time. When that time is over, they may fade away. It's not about rejection or abandonment. It's about making room for what's next. If someone leaves your life, it might be because you're being prepared for something greater. Holding on to people from your past season could slow you down or keep you from reaching the next level God has planned for you. This can be difficult to accept, especially when you feel attached to those who leave. But understanding that every person plays a specific role in your journey can bring peace. People are like seasons, they come and go, and each one has a purpose. When God removes someone, trust that it's for a reason. You might not see the full picture now, but eventually you'll understand why they couldn't continue with you. As new seasons begin in your life, God will bring new people to walk with you. These new connections are meant to support you in different ways, helping you grow and reach your next destination. Just as Moses made way for Joshua, others may have to step aside so that the right people can come in to guide you forward. There are times when God removes people from your life because they are holding you back. These individuals might not seem harmful at first, but over time, they may become distractions that keep you from moving forward. God sees the bigger picture and knows what is best for you. Sometimes He has to prune your life, removing anything or anyone that hinders your growth. It can feel uncomfortable or confusing, but it's often necessary for you to reach your full potential. Think about Abraham and Lot. Abraham was chosen by God to become the father of many nations, but there was a point where he had to separate from his nephew Lot. While they traveled together for some time, their herdsmen began to argue, and the land could not support both of them. It became clear that Abraham and Lot needed to part ways. God had a specific plan for Abraham, but Lot couldn't go with him on that path. After they separated, God revealed to Abraham the full extent of the blessings and promises he had in store for him. In your own life, there may be people who, like Lot, are not meant to continue with you. They may not be bad people, but they might be keeping you from focusing on what truly matters. God sees when someone is a distraction or is preventing you from reaching your full potential. To help you grow, He might remove them, even if it feels difficult at the time. You may not understand why it's happening, but it's often because God wants to free you from anything that's holding you back. When God prunes your life, it's a sign that He is preparing you for something greater. He wants you to be in the best position to receive His blessings and fulfill your purpose. But sometimes the people around you can cloud your vision or keep you from hearing His voice clearly. They may influence your decisions or lead you in the wrong direction, even without meaning to. By removing these distractions, God is clearing the way for you to move forward with focus and strength. This process of pruning can be painful, especially if you're attached to the person God removes. You might not see the problem immediately, but trust that God knows what He's doing. He wants the best for you, and sometimes that means letting go of certain relationships, like Abraham, who needed to part from Lot to see God's full plan. You may need to let go of certain people to fully step into what God has for you. When God removes distractions, it opens up space for you to grow and thrive. It allows you to focus on your purpose and align more closely with God's plan for your life. Though it may be hard to say goodbye to certain people, remember that this pruning is for your benefit. God is preparing you for something greater, and He's making sure nothing stands in your way. There are moments when God removes people from your life because they have become toxic or harmful to your well-being. These are individuals who may have once seemed fine to be around, but over time, their behavior or influence starts to weigh you down. Toxic relationships can drain you emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. God, in His wisdom, sees the danger these people pose and takes them out of your life to protect you. A clear example of this is the story of the children of Israel and their taskmasters in Egypt. The Israelites were trapped in a situation where they were enslaved, and their taskmasters were cruel and oppressive. These relationships were toxic, not only physically, but spiritually, as the Israelites were cut off from the life God wanted for them. God saw their suffering and knew they needed to be freed from these harmful relationships. In His plan, He led them out of Egypt, away from the people who were hurting them. In your life, there may be people who are like the taskmasters, draining you of joy, peace, and strength. They could be emotionally abusive, manipulative, or just consistently negative, pulling you down instead of lifting you up. Over time, you may begin to feel overwhelmed, stressed, or distant from God's purpose. Toxic people often create an unhealthy environment that makes it difficult for you to grow and thrive. When God removes someone toxic from your life, it's because He wants to protect you from further harm. It's easy to feel attached to people, even when they aren't good for you. You might try to overlook their behavior or give them the benefit of the doubt, hoping things will improve. But God sees what you cannot always see, and He knows when it's time to cut ties. He doesn't want you trapped in relationships that hold you back or cause you pain. Just as He freed the Israelites from their oppressors, He may remove someone toxic from your life to give you the freedom to grow, heal, and move forward. Toxic relationships can also impact your spiritual life. They can pull you away from God, causing you to feel distant or disconnected from Him. Toxic people might encourage you to make poor choices or create chaos that distracts you from your faith. Over time, this can harm your spiritual growth. God, in His love and care, may step in and take these people out of your life so that you can refocus on what truly matters. He is always looking out for your well-being, even when it's hard to see in the moment. When God removes a toxic person, it can be painful at first, but it's ultimately for your protection. You may not understand why it's happening, but trust that God is shielding you from further harm. He wants you to be surrounded by people who will encourage and uplift you, not drag you down. By removing these harmful influences, He is giving you the chance to heal and move forward into a healthier, more peaceful season of life. Sometimes God removes people from your life because they are keeping you from growing. These people may not seem harmful on the surface, but they could be holding you back from becoming the person God intends for you to be. They may be comfortable with you staying where you are, not moving forward or reaching your full potential. God, however, always wants more for you. He desires for you to grow, develop, and step into new opportunities that lead you closer to your purpose. There are times when people, whether consciously or unconsciously, prefer you to stay in a place of comfort or stagnation. They may like the version of you that doesn't take risks or move out of your comfort zone. This could be because it makes them feel more secure or in control. However, God knows that staying in the same place will prevent you from reaching your full potential. To push you forward, He sometimes needs to remove the people who are holding you back. When someone is blocking your growth, it can happen in subtle ways. They may discourage your dreams or make you feel guilty for wanting to pursue new goals. Their influence may cause you to doubt yourself or feel stuck in a cycle of inaction. While these people may not be doing it out of malice, their presence can create an environment where you feel limited, unable to stretch beyond what you know. God, in His wisdom, understands that for you to grow, you need to be in a space where you can thrive without these limitations. God's plan for you always involves growth and transformation. He wants you to rise above your current level and move into the greater things He has prepared for you. But sometimes the people around you aren't equipped to support that journey. They may not understand the path God has you on, or may resist the changes He's making in your life. To make room for your growth, God may need to take these people out of your life. It might feel sudden or unexpected, but it's often necessary for you to step into the new season He has for you. When someone is removed because they're blocking your growth, it's not a punishment for them or for you. It's simply part of God's process to help you move forward. You may feel confused or sad at first, especially if the person has been close to you for a long time. But as time passes, you'll begin to see that their absence creates space for you to grow in ways you couldn't while they were still in your life. God's goal is always to see you reach your full potential. He knows what you're capable of, and He wants to see you flourish. By removing people who are holding you back, He's making sure that nothing stands in the way of your progress. As you move forward, you'll encounter new opportunities, and God will bring people into your life who will support your growth, encourage your dreams, and help you become the person He designed you to be. There are times when God removes someone from your life simply because He has a better plan for you. While it may feel painful or confusing at the moment, it's often part of a greater purpose that you can't see yet. God's perspective is much larger than ours. He sees what lies ahead and knows what is truly best for you, even if it's hard to understand in the present moment. When someone leaves your life, it could be because God is clearing the way for something much better. It's natural to feel attached to people who have been a big part of your life. You might have made plans with them, shared dreams, or imagined a future together. When they suddenly disappear or drift away, it can feel like everything is falling apart. But God doesn't remove someone without reason. He often does this to open the door for His bigger, better plan to unfold in your life. Sometimes the people we think are meant to stay are not part of God's long-term plan for us. Trusting in God's plan requires faith, especially when it doesn't align with what you had in mind. It can be difficult to let go when you don't see the full picture. But remember that God's ways are higher than ours. He knows what lies ahead and understands what you need to fulfill your purpose. Sometimes He has to make changes in your life, even if it feels uncomfortable, to lead you to something greater. When someone is removed, trust that God's plan for you is better than anything you could have planned for yourself. God may also remove someone to make space for a new blessing or opportunity that you couldn't experience with that person still in your life. You may not see it now, but later you'll understand how everything worked together for your good. God doesn't want you to settle for less than what He has in store for you. By removing certain people, He is aligning your life with His perfect plan, ensuring that you are ready to receive all the good things He has prepared for you. It's important to trust that God knows what is best, even when you can't understand it. When He removes someone from your life, it may feel like a loss, but it's often a redirection towards something better. You may not immediately see the reason, but as time passes, you'll begin to recognize how God's hand was at work all along. He is guiding you toward His perfect plan, and everything that happens is for your growth and ultimate good. Sometimes God removes someone from your life to prepare you for something greater. While it may feel like a loss at first, it's often the first step toward a new and better opportunity or relationship that you couldn't have experienced otherwise. When one door closes, it's not the end. It's a sign that something else is on the horizon. God knows what's ahead and may be preparing you for a new beginning that you're not yet aware of. In life, it's easy to get comfortable with the people around us. We form bonds and routines, and we start to believe that the way things are is how they're meant to stay. But God sees beyond that. He knows when a chapter in your life needs to close so that a new one can begin. Sometimes that involves removing people who have played their part in your current season, allowing room for growth, healing, and new opportunities to come in. It's a process that prepares you for what's next, even if it's hard to see in the moment. When God removes someone, it could be because He's making space for a new relationship that aligns more with the path He has set for you. This might be someone who will support your growth, encourage your dreams, or walk alongside you in a way the previous person couldn't. Or it could be an opportunity that you couldn't have stepped into with the old relationship still in place. God often moves people out of our lives to position us for the next stage, ensuring that we are ready to receive what He has prepared. Being open to new beginnings is important during this time. While it's natural to grieve the loss of a relationship or connection, it's also essential to recognize that God is working for your good. The removal of someone from your life is often a sign that something better is coming. It's an opportunity for you to grow, heal, and prepare for what's next. God doesn't take away without reason. He's always moving you towards something greater, even if it's hard to understand at first. As you go through this process, remember that God's plans for you are always filled with hope and promise. He knows what you need, and He removes certain people to prepare you for the blessings and opportunities that are ahead. Trust that these changes are part of a greater purpose and be open to the possibility of new beginnings. With God guiding the way, every ending can lead to something greater than you ever imagined. Sometimes God removes someone from your life to help you refocus on your relationship with Him. It can be easy to get caught up in the busyness of relationships, relying on others for comfort, support, or validation. But God desires to be at the center of your life, and when someone starts to distract you from that, He may step in to help you reprioritize. In those moments, losing someone may feel difficult, but it's often God's way of calling you back to Him. Your relationship with God should be your foundation. When other relationships start to take priority over your connection with Him, things can quickly become unbalanced. You may start to spend more time with certain people or focus too much on their opinions and needs, losing sight of your spiritual life. God, in His love for you, may remove someone who is pulling you away from Him so you can refocus on what truly matters, your connection with Him. He wants to ensure that your relationship with Him is strong before anything else. In these moments, it's important to recognize the blessing that comes with the space to grow spiritually. With fewer distractions, you have the opportunity to spend more time in prayer, reading scripture, and deepening your understanding of God's plan for your life. The removal of someone may feel painful at first, but it can be a period of spiritual growth where you reconnect with God in a deeper way. This time of refocusing can strengthen your faith and help you better align your life with His purpose. God may also be removing someone to help you see that He is the one you should lean on above all others. While relationships with people are important, your relationship with God is the most vital one. He is the source of your strength, guidance, and peace. When He takes someone out of your life, it may be a reminder to rely on Him more fully, to trust that He knows what's best for you, and to seek His direction before anyone else's. Prioritizing your relationship with God means trusting His timing and His plans, even when they involve difficult losses. By focusing on Him, you can gain the clarity and strength needed to move forward, knowing that He has a purpose for everything. In life, there are many reasons why God may remove someone from your life. First, He might do so when your season changes, as not everyone is meant to stay with you forever. Second, He removes people to prune you from distractions so you can grow into your full potential. Third, God protects you from toxic or harmful relationships that drain you emotionally and spiritually. Fourth, He may take someone away because they are blocking your growth, keeping you from moving forward. Fifth, God has a better plan for your future, even if it means losing someone you care about. Sixth, He prepares you for something greater, making room for new relationships or opportunities. Lastly, God may remove someone to help you focus on your relationship with Him, ensuring that He remains the most important part of your life. Though it's not always easy to understand, trust that God knows what is best for you. When someone is removed, it's often because He's guiding you towards something better, something that aligns with His purpose for your life. Through every change, remember that God loves you deeply and is always working for your good. Even in moments of loss, He has good things in store for you. Trust His plan, knowing that He is leading you to a future filled with hope and blessings.